My friends, the greatest gift God has given you is not money, not influence, not even people. It is time. Time is the currency of life, and every day you are either investing it or you are wasting it. The tragedy of life is not death. The tragedy of life is wasted time. You can recover money if you lose it. You can rebuild a house if it falls. But once a day is gone, it is gone forever. The clock does not wait for your excuses, and destiny does not pause for your distractions. You see, many of us spend so much of our lives looking at what others are doing, comparing our progress, competing in areas that don't even concern our assignment. That is why frustration grows. That is why envy takes root. The problem is not that your life has no meaning. The problem is that you have been measuring your life against someone else's race. And when you do that, you rob yourself of focus. Hear me well, you were born original, but most people die as copies. Why? Because instead of focusing on their own calling, they waste time living in the shadow of another person's dream. You are not on this earth to be an imitation. You are here as a solution, a unique answer to a problem that only you can solve. The world is waiting on your gift, your vision, your assignment. But if you keep wasting your hours, scrolling through the lives of others, gossiping, envying, and competing, you will leave this earth full instead of empty. Full of ideas you never pursued, books you never wrote, businesses you never built, songs you never sang. Life is not measured by how long you live, but by how effectively you use the time you have been given. You are not responsible for how much time you were given. You are responsible for what you do with it. Stop waiting for the right moment, because the right moment is already here. The breath in your lungs is proof that purpose still waits for you. Focus is the key. When you focus on yourself, you stop being distracted by others. When you focus on yourself, you stop blaming people for your lack of progress. When you focus on yourself, you stop giving excuses. The greatest enemy of success is not the devil, it is distraction. Every distraction is a thief of destiny, and every wasted hour is a deposit in the account of regret. Ask yourself, what are you doing with your days? Where is your time going? Every single one of us is given 24 hours. The rich, the poor, the wise, the foolish, we all get the same gift. The difference is not in the hours, the difference is in how those hours are managed. Stop wasting time on people who don't value your presence. Stop wasting time on conversations that don't feed your vision. Stop wasting time trying to prove yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop wasting time chasing approval when you were designed for purpose. Time is life. Every day you exchange your life for something. If you spend it complaining, you are trading your life for frustration. If you spend it envying others, you are trading your life for emptiness. But if you spend it developing yourself, investing in your gift, sharpening your mind, feeding your spirit, you are trading your life for destiny. You cannot change your future until you change your priorities. And your number one priority must be focus. Focus on becoming who you were born to be. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for the right mood. Begin today. Refuse to let your time leak through the cracks of laziness and distraction. Lock in. Focus. Protect your hours as you would protect your treasure. Time is the currency of life, the invisible treasure that each one of us is given in equal measure, yet often taken for granted as if it were unlimited. Every morning you wake up, you are handed a deposit of 24 hours. That deposit is unearned, unrepayable, and non-renewable. It comes whether you asked for it or not, and it leaves whether you used it wisely or wasted it. Time is the most democratic gift on earth. The rich man receives no more hours than the poor man. The educated receive no more than the uneducated. The leader receives no more than the follower. The difference between success and failure, between fulfillment and frustration, is not in how much time we are given, but in how we choose to invest it. When time is gone, it cannot be replaced, borrowed, or recycled. You cannot buy it in a store. You cannot borrow it from a friend, and you cannot negotiate with it to slow down. It is moving with or without your permission. The tragedy of most lives is not that people die too soon, but that they live too long without ever understanding the value of their days. They treat hours as cheap, giving them away to gossip, to comparison, to meaningless activities, and only when they reach the end of their journey do they realize that they were spending gold as if it were dust. Time is life itself, and when you waste time, you are literally wasting your own existence. Imagine a person given a chest full of gold coins, but instead of investing or protecting them, they drop one coin after another into the river every single day. Eventually, the chest will be empty, and the person will stand with nothing but regret. That is exactly what happens when you do not value time. The truth is, success is not a matter of luck, nor is it a gift of chance. It is the predictable outcome of discipline in how you manage time. Every great accomplishment is the product of hours that were guarded, invested, and multiplied with intentionality. The difference between the person who builds a business and the one who only dreams of it is not intelligence, not background, not even opportunity. It is how they chose to use the same 24 hours. Some plant their hours like seeds in the soil of learning, relationships, and creativity. Others scatter them on the ground of distraction and procrastination. Both receive the same daily deposit, but only one ends up with a harvest. You cannot manage life until you manage time. Too many people pray for success, for opportunities, for breakthroughs, without realizing that what they are asking for is already in their hands every morning. Opportunity comes disguised as 24 hours. Your future is hidden in your daily schedule. What you do consistently with your hours will determine the quality of your life more than your wishes, more than your dreams, and more than your desires. A wasted day is a piece of your destiny lost. The enemy of time is not just laziness, but ignorance of its value. People think they have more of it than they actually do. They speak as though tomorrow is guaranteed, as though they have years to figure things out, when in reality, no one knows how many deposits remain in their account. That is why every day must be treated as sacred. Each morning you must wake up with the awareness that this day is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It will never come back again. How you use it will either move you closer to your purpose or further away. Time is not neutral. It is either working for you or against you depending on your choices. When you waste money, you can recover it by earning more. When you lose possessions, you can replace them. When you fail at a task, you can try again. But when you waste time, it is unrecoverable. Even if you repent, even if you change your ways, the hours you lost yesterday are gone forever. That is why time is more valuable than gold, more precious than diamonds, more important than any material thing you can acquire. It is the essence of your life, the raw material out of which you build your future. Those who do not respect time will never respect themselves, because to dishonor time is to dishonor your own existence. The wisest people on earth are not those who have read the most books or accumulated the most knowledge, but those who have mastered the art of numbering their days and maximizing each moment. They understand that 1 hour can change everything if invested wisely. They understand that one decision in one day can alter the course of a lifetime. That is why they treat time as a sacred trust, as a gift from God that demands accountability. Each of us will give an account for how we used our days, because time is life and life is purpose. To waste time is to despise purpose, and to despise purpose is to forfeit destiny. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of destiny because it blinds you to who you are and distracts you from what you are meant to become. From childhood, many are conditioned to measure themselves against others, the grades of a classmate, the possessions of a neighbor, the achievements of a friend. That seed grows into adulthood where people no longer live their own lives, but try to live up to someone else's standard. The danger in comparison is that it causes you to abandon your own race, to chase after a path that was never assigned to you. You lose focus not because you are weak, but because your eyes are fixed on the wrong thing. The human heart cannot run in two directions at the same time. If your gaze is on another person's journey, you cannot concentrate on your own. Distraction is subtle because it often comes dressed as something harmless. It is the constant urge to check what others are doing, the endless scrolling through images of people who seem to be ahead, the pressure to keep up appearances rather than develop substance. Each time you engage in that cycle, you surrender a portion of your focus. Focus is the fuel of achievement, and when it leaks away into comparison and distraction, you are left exhausted with little progress to show. Success requires concentration like a laser beam. Light that is scattered only illuminates, but light that is focused can cut through steel. That is the difference between a person who masters their calling and one who spends life chasing shadows. You were never meant to duplicate another person's assignment. The Creator designed every individual with a unique blueprint, an original idea that no one else carries. When you compare, you insult that design by suggesting it is not enough. What makes life powerful is diversity of gifts. A singer is not less important than an engineer. A teacher is not less valuable than an entrepreneur. A mother is not less significant than a leader. Each role has its place, each assignment its dignity. The moment you abandon your gift to imitate another, the world loses something irreplaceable. It loses you. That is why comparison is so destructive. It does not only rob you, it robs everyone who is supposed to benefit from your originality. Distraction does not always look like evil. It often comes through good things that are not necessary things. A person may spend hours helping others chase their vision while ignoring the one that lies dormant inside them. They may become experts at applauding others while never producing what was placed in their own heart. That is why discernment is critical. You must ask yourself daily, is this action moving me closer to my assignment or pulling me further away? Am I investing my energy in what matters to my purpose? Or am I scattering it across activities that only look impressive but carry no eternal weight? Envy is another fruit of comparison. When you measure yourself against someone else, you either feel superior or inferior. Both are poison. Superiority breeds pride, and inferiority breeds resentment. Neither produces growth. True progress comes when you recognize that life is not a competition, but a stewardship. The only race you must win is the race against wasted potential. Every person you envy carries a set of struggles you do not see, and every highlight you admire is often built on sacrifices you could not imagine. To envy is to covet the reward of another without embracing the price they paid. Focus is the antidote. Focus means directing your attention, your energy, and your resources toward the assignment uniquely given to you. It requires discipline to shut out the noise, to resist the urge to chase applause, to ignore the temptation to keep up with the pace of others. Focus demands that you recognize seasons. Not every season is for display, some are for preparation. The oak tree does not compare itself to the rose. Both bloom in their time, both carry beauty, but each has a different purpose. In the same way, your destiny unfolds in stages, and distraction will always tempt you to despise your current stage by comparing it to someone else's. The irony is that when you stop comparing and focus on yourself, you eventually achieve what others admire. Those who rise are not those who spent life watching, but those who spent life working. Every moment invested in comparison is a moment stolen from creation. Every minute spent envying another's success is a minute you could have used to build your own. Life rewards those who are faithful to their assignment, not those who are distracted by the assignment of others. You were born original, crafted with intention, designed with precision, carrying within you a uniqueness that no one else on this earth possesses. Everything about you, from your fingerprint to your thought pattern, is evidence that you are not a mistake. Yet the tragedy is that many spend their entire lives trying to copy others, conforming to systems, mimicking voices, imitating styles, until the very essence of who they are is buried under layers of imitation. To die a copy is to betray the very gift of existence. You were sent to this earth not to repeat what has already been done, but to introduce what has never been seen before. The greatest deception of society is to convince you that success looks the same for everyone. This is why people chase after careers they do not love, live lifestyles they cannot afford, and pursue goals that do not belong to them. They measure success by possessions, by applause, by recognition, rather than by alignment with purpose. But success is not external, it is internal. It is not in how well you fit into the mold, but in how courageously you embrace your difference. You were never designed to blend in, you were born to stand out. Every invention that has changed the world came from someone who dared to remain original. The Wright brothers were ridiculed for thinking man could fly. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times while people mocked his persistence. Great leaders, thinkers, and innovators were often criticized because they refused to follow the common path. Their originality became their contribution, and their contribution became their legacy. The world does not remember those who blended in. It remembers those who brought something new. Inside of you is a gift, an ability, an idea that no one else can bring forth in the same way you can. It may be hidden, undeveloped, or ignored, but it is there. It waits for you to discover it, to refine it, and to release it. But as long as you are busy copying others, you silence your own originality. No one was created empty. Every person carries a measure of potential. Potential is unused ability, hidden power, untapped strength. When you copy others, you neglect the responsibility of releasing your own potential. The pressure to conform is strong because society often rewards sameness. Schools reward those who memorize, not those who innovate. Workplaces reward those who follow instructions, not those who challenge systems. Communities often accept those who fit in, not those who stand apart. Yet history shows that true impact is never made by those who merely followed, but by those who dared to be different. If you want to leave a mark, you cannot be afraid of rejection, criticism, or misunderstanding. Originality always carries a price, but it also carries a reward. Identity is the foundation of originality. If you do not know who you are, you will always be tempted to become someone else. You must discover your own design, your own calling, your own voice. That requires time alone, reflection, and courage. Many avoid this process because it is easier to imitate than to discover. It is easier to borrow another's path than to carve your own. But ease does not lead to greatness. Greatness is born in the struggle of finding, refining, and standing boldly in your uniqueness. You were not placed here to compete with others. You were placed here to complete something that no one else can. Life is not about competition, it is about contribution. Your originality is your contribution. A tree does not compete with the river, and the sun does not compete with the moon. Each serves its role, each fulfills its design, and the world is richer because of their differences. In the same way, you enrich the world not by trying to be someone else, but by being fully yourself. The danger of living as a copy is that you can succeed and still fail. You can reach the top of a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. You can earn wealth, status, and recognition, but if it is built on imitation, it leaves you empty because it does not reflect your true purpose. Fulfillment is not found in achieving what others admire. It is found in becoming who you were created to be. To live outside your originality is to live outside your assignment, and to live outside your assignment is to forfeit the satisfaction of destiny. Every wasted hour is not just a passing moment. It is a piece of your destiny slipping through your fingers. Time is not neutral. It is either invested or it is squandered. Every action, every choice, every distraction you allow determines whether the hours you are given will yield progress or regret. The most painful realization in life is not that time has passed, but that you did nothing meaningful with it. Regret is born out of misused time. People do not lie on their deathbeds wishing for more entertainment, more gossip, more hours spent scrolling through meaningless noise. They wish for more time to have lived with intention. Hours may seem small, but they are the building blocks of destiny. A wasted hour may feel insignificant in the moment, but repeated consistently, it creates a lifetime of lost opportunity. The man who becomes a master at his craft is not necessarily more gifted than others. He simply chose to invest hour after hour in practice, while others wasted those same hours in distraction. Greatness is built in secret in the consistent use of time that no one else sees. Wasted hours are invisible seeds, and they grow into a harvest of frustration. Regret is a heavy burden because it cannot be reversed. You can repent of wasted time, you can make better use of future time, but the hours already lost cannot be reclaimed. That is why time is more valuable than money. Money can be earned, lost, and earned again. Possessions can be replaced, but wasted time is gone forever. Each hour has the potential to move you closer to your goals, deepen your relationships, strengthen your mind, or develop your spirit. To waste that potential is to choose emptiness over fulfillment. Distractions are the primary thieves of hours. They rarely appear as dangerous. Often they feel comfortable, even enjoyable. Hours slip away in conversations that add no value, in habits that dull your mind, in pursuits that keep you busy, but not productive. Business is not the same as fruitfulness. Many people waste their lives thinking they are working hard, when in reality they are working on things that do not matter. They give their best energy to what will not last, and at the end, they discover they have built nothing that brings true satisfaction. Every wasted hour accumulates. Life is not wasted in chunks of years. It is wasted in moments that add up until an entire season is gone. One missed opportunity here, one careless day there, and suddenly years have passed with nothing to show. Regret does not come from one mistake. It comes from a pattern of neglect. Each time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," each time you choose distraction over discipline, you are making a deposit in the account of regret. When the withdrawals are due, the payment is painful. Those who value time guard their hours with vigilance. They recognize that every hour holds potential, and they refuse to give it away cheaply. They do not entertain every invitation. They do not engage in every argument. They do not spend their energy proving themselves to people who do not matter. They understand that life is too short to waste on things that do not align with their purpose. Protecting your time is not selfish, it is stewardship. It is recognizing that your life has weight and that every moment must be aligned with your calling. Regret is often disguised as nostalgia. People look back on their lives, remembering what they could have done, the risks they never took, the talents they never developed, and they feel the ache of wasted time. That ache cannot be silenced by material possessions or external achievements because it comes from within. It is the cry of unfulfilled potential. The saddest thing is not that people die, but that they die with their music still inside them, their books unwritten, their visions unfulfilled. Wasted hours create silent cemeteries of dreams. To understand the weight of an hour, ask someone who has faced death. To understand the value of a day, ask someone who lost a loved one without warning. To understand the power of a season, ask someone who let opportunities slip away. Life is a collection of hours, and every wasted one shapes your story. Each hour is an opportunity to write, to build, to grow, to love, to invest in what truly matters. When you waste it, you are not just losing time, you are losing a piece of your life that will never return. Protecting your time is one of the greatest disciplines you can ever develop because time is the container of purpose. Every assignment, every dream, every vision depends on how you manage the hours you are given. The tragedy is that many live as if time belongs to everyone else but them. They allow others to dictate their schedules, to invade their priorities, to waste their energy on things that do not align with their calling. When you fail to protect your time, you surrender control of your life. The only way to fulfill destiny is to align your priorities with your purpose and guard your hours as though they were treasure. Priorities are not just about what you want, they are about what you value. What you consistently give your time to reveals what you truly consider important. You can say you value growth, but if your hours are consumed by entertainment, your priorities are exposed. You can say you value family, but if your time is spent entirely at work, your actions speak louder than your words. Life is shaped not by your intentions, but by your priorities in action. To protect your time, you must be brutally honest about where your hours are going and whether those choices align with your true purpose. Purpose acts as a compass. Without it, time is wasted on things that look urgent but are not important. There is always something demanding your attention, messages to answer, invitations to accept, activities to join. If you do not have clear priorities, you will live reacting instead of directing. You will say yes to everything and everyone until your time is scattered so thin that nothing meaningful is accomplished. Protecting your time means learning to say no without guilt. A no to distraction is a yes to focus. A no to meaningless obligations is a yes to growth. A no to people who drain you is a yes to the vision that sustains you. There is a myth that successful people have more time than others. The truth is, they simply protect their time with more discipline. They do not allow every voice access to their attention. They do not invest in relationships that add no value, and they do not waste their energy on what does not align with their mission. They live by a schedule that reflects their purpose. Every hour is accounted for, every day has direction, and every season carries intentionality. Their greatness is not in their talent alone, but in their ability to guard their time from the trivial. Protecting your time also means protecting your environment. The people around you influence how you use your hours. If you surround yourself with those who waste time, you will unconsciously join them. If you walk with those who value purpose, you will be challenged to maximize your own. Time protection is not only about personal discipline, it is about choosing the right associations. People are either multipliers or subtractors of your time. Multipliers sharpen you, challenge you, and push you toward growth. Subtractors distract you, drain you, and anchor you in stagnation. Guard your circle because it determines how your time is spent. One of the most common ways time is stolen is through the pursuit of approval. Many live for the validation of others, constantly trying to please, to fit in, to be liked. In doing so, they compromise their priorities for acceptance. Protecting your time requires courage because not everyone will understand your choices. Some will call you distant, selfish, or proud when you begin to focus on what matters. But alignment with purpose is worth misunderstanding. The price of trying to keep everyone happy is a life of wasted potential. You must decide whose approval you value most, the applause of the crowd or the satisfaction of fulfilling your calling. When your priorities are aligned with your purpose, clarity comes. Decisions become easier, distractions lose their power, and wasted hours are minimized. You stop chasing everything and start pursuing the one thing that matters. That is the essence of focus, the ability to channel all your energy into what aligns with your assignment. Every great achievement in history came from someone who knew how to protect their time and align it with what truly mattered. They ignored noise, they resisted pressure, they stayed true to their priorities. Life is not measured by the number of years you live, but by the effective use of the time within those years. Protecting your time is protecting your life. It is refusing to allow the trivial to rob you of the eternal. It is making the hard choices today so you can enjoy the fruit tomorrow. It is choosing discipline over distraction, purpose over popularity, and focus over fragmentation. Your destiny demands the best of your time, not the leftovers. When you learn to guard your hours with intentionality, you take control of your life because time is the raw material from which destiny is crafted.